Speaking of egos, Liam Gallagher.
Joe? Who do you hate? Who do you hate with a passion? Fall Out Boy being the Saturday headliner is the roguest shout ever.
The best Reading and Leeds lineup I've seen. Welcome back to the Man Overboard podcast. Last episode, we did a bunch of festival predictions for some of the biggest festivals in the UK, and now most of those have released their lineups. So this episode, we thought we'd go over them, give our thoughts, what we think on some of the artists, and who else we think they should potentially add, maybe.
So it turns out that a lot of the guesses that we made in our last video, you know, some of them did come to fruition. We did get some where it was like, okay, we made the right choice there. But there were some rogue ones that have been announced that are much better than what we anticipated. So it'll be interesting to look into these.
Speaking of better than anticipated, let's boot it off with Reading and Leeds Festival 2024. So in my opinion, I'm just going to go straight in with, I think this is the best Reading and Leeds lineup I've seen probably since like 2018, at least in the last couple of years. I think they've done a fantastic job of booking a bunch of different artists from different genres that are all at the top of the game. They're all doing really well, or maybe have been for that long that they're kind of just classed as legends at this point. But what are your thoughts overall?
I was going to say, there's a lot more variety this year than what we've seen in previous years. The only thing that we're lacking is the presence of rappers currently. I mean, there's one or two thrown in, and maybe just one. But that is a genre that's currently to the wayside, so I'd like to see some more of those announced. But what we've got currently, the better than what I think we expected it to be.
Yeah, it's banging. So let me list off the 10 artists that Reading and Leeds have already announced for the festival next year. We've got Fred again, Lana Del Rey, Blink-182, Catfish and the Bottlemen, Liam Gallagher, Jerry Cinnamon, Ray, Skrillex, Spirit Box, and Digger D. And as you said, no rap headliner, which is really weird. But the first man on this list, anyway, on their website is Fred again. Oh,
rightfully so. Rightfully fucking so.
He's one of the, I think he's probably, in recent years, one of the only Reading and Leeds headliners that has headlined after only blowing up like maybe a year ago, a year and a half tops. He's shot to headliner level for the second biggest festival in the UK so quickly.
Well, I mean, you've seen the size of the shows that he ends up doing in America. The one that he did with Skrillex and Fortet, just absolutely insane. The size of the crowd, the hypeness of the crowd, they all knew all of the tunes, the way that they controlled everybody. I don't know how this man has come out of nowhere to blow up. All I remember of Fred again is hearing Rumble, which was him and Skrillex, and then all of a sudden he's fucking everywhere. Yeah. He's just infected everything.
I won't claim to be an OG fan. I discovered him because someone sent me the Boiler Room he did, which was like before Rumble and stuff. And I remember, and I'm not that big into electronic music, but I actually sat through the full hour and really enjoyed it, and sent it to a few of the boys who really enjoyed it.
The Boiler Room was when I think we'd gone out drinking or something. I came back to yours, and you said you got to hear this bit of this Boiler Room, and you played Rumble from that. And then when Rumble actually dropped, I remember hearing it and going, and why the fuck do I know? I was like, Joe fucking showed me this a week before it came out. Like I was
Who were we with? Were we with Neil?
Oh, maybe, yeah.
I think that's what because he always messages me like, oh, you showed me this.
Yeah. Could have been, yeah. And it was just one of those where when you first hear the song, even though I didn't know what the song was, it stuck in my head instantly, which shows it's a banger. So when it dropped, I was like, yo.
I also really enjoyed it because I was telling one of the family members about the Leeds Festival announcement, and I was like, Fred again's one of the headliners, and she was like, Fred, who's Fred again? Like
he headlined before?
No, but as in, like, she thought it was like Fred again, like as in Fred is headlining again.
Yeah, that's what,
Didn't understand it. Me and my brother were finding that one quite funny. And then next on the list, you've got Lana Del Rey, a woman who's had some questionable moments at recent festivals. I know at Glastonbury she came on stage like that late that she couldn't even perform one song, I think. She might have done one. So maybe a risky booking from Reading and Leeds if she's not that reliable, but also a booking that, in my opinion, will bring in a lot of die-hard fans, but also targets the demographic that I think they're going for a second year in a row.
Yeah, which is a younger demographic yet again. But the thing is with Lana Del Rey is... I was going to say, she's more like people I reckon in like their mid-20s.
I'm not saying a younger demographic. I'm saying the opposite of that. I think Leeds Fest now are going for like 22 to 30, mid-30s.
It does feel that way with this lineup, especially.
Look, I thought it
think
did
in
last year
previous
as well.
years-
Look at the headliners.
I suppose having the Killers and people like Imagine Dragons and stuff flying around.
Yeah, and even like Foals were at their peak like a decade ago.
Yeah, true. Yeah.
Like the
Yeah,
1975 are mainstays, but they've kind of consistently stayed at the top. But the rest of the headliners, other than Billie Eilish, were all targeted towards older
I think
people.
it's just because Billie Eilish outweighs it for me, where I'm like,
Yeah.
that was clearly aimed at somebody. But Lana Del Rey being announced is, well, I didn't see it happening, but then when I saw it, I was like, no, that makes sense. That's a big shout for that. That's probably the best fitted artist of that style to go to that festival.
And I think personally as well, as far as like the in the last few years anyway, there's been like a female more pop artist in one of those headline slots. Obviously, I had Billie Eilish last year, and then the year before it was Halsey, was that kind of similar vibe. I think in that genre, Lana Del Rey probably would have been one of my preferable picks. Out of everyone that you could have picked in that little like subcategory, there's only maybe like Lady Gaga or Miley Cyrus I'd prefer.
Have we had Olivia Rodrigo at Leeds
No,
Fest? We haven't, have we?
No, she's not been at Reading and Leeds. I said in the last episode she had, but then when I rechecked, she hasn't ever actually done it. She's done Glastonbury though.
Yeah. Because she's another shout where it's like, she could fit the bill.
Oh, I imagine one year she'll definitely be the headliner.
yeah.
But let's move on to
Just seen it.
what is probably our favourite of the headliners.
Hyped.
And that is Blink-182, which for Reading and Leeds is an unbelievable booking. Not only are Blink going to bring in an older crowd, they've got bangers that every generation knows. Like, even my friends who don't listen to pop punk at all know maybe like 3 or 4 Blink-182 songs.
And everybody knows I Miss You. So, and I mean, it's things like TikTok that have just carried that through as well. So even if you didn't listen to Blink, you've heard some of their tracks.
But I think as well, the way that Reading and Leeds like want to book their artists, they've said that they don't do it based on certain genres of music. They do it based on relevancy. And I think Blink, since returning, have become one of the most relevant bands in the world again. The new album obviously got #1 in America and did really, really well. It got #2 in the UK as well, which is impressive because they were battling the Rolling Stones who came back. So
it's upsetting. Yeah. It's a bit upsetting because Blink deserve that #1 spot. The Rolling Stones are past it now.
But at the same time, I think the main reason Blink are so relevant now is because of Travis Barker. Travis Barker now is a name where I can speak to anyone, literally anyone, and they know who Travis Barker is because of the Kardashians. And not only because of the Kardashians, because he's done songs with Machine Gun Kelly, Youngblood.
The amount of songs in which he's featured on and his name's on the title, that everybody just knows him off by heart now. Anyway.
As well, he's even done songs like a lot of the smaller bands. He did a song with an indie band from the UK called The Hunter. I think it's called Cover You, banger. But as in Travis Barker's like been involved in so many different projects. He's done tunes with Kanye, Triple X, like loads of people. It's mad. So he brings them to like a new audience completely. And now when I say to people, like some of my friends, or like Blink a headline in Leeds Fest, they're like, oh, Travis Barker.
And it's also not even just that. Then on the flip side, the people that already knew Blink, you've got the addition of Tom back, which when Matt joined, when was that, like 2017,
2016, yeah.
Yeah, when he joined, I know that a lot of hardcore fans said, right, fuck this, we're not going to see him anymore and all that. So to know that Blink are coming back and are also going to have their original lineup, that's going to draw in a massive crowd as well.
Especially when the only UK tour they've done since getting back together was completely sold out. A lot of people missed out on tickets. They had 2 Manchester days sold out, multiple London days, or like Glasgow, wherever it is, was all sold out. So a lot of people that missed out on that all went, and it was a fantastic show. Obviously, we were there. Will think I'll definitely see him again, or I missed out on it last time. I don't want to miss out on it this time.
That's it, yeah.
So.
And I mean, we called this one well off the bat.
Yeah.
It was a
obvious.
given. With the dates being rearranged to just after Leeds Fest, you know, it was bound to happen.
And I'm so happy with it. It's like one of my dream headliners of all time. Like for me, like the fact the 1975 and then Blink-182 year after year. All we need is Kanye next year and we're winning. That's never going to happen. But then it'd be, for me, 3 wins in a row. So we'll find out. But let's jump on to the next headliner. And that is, I don't know if I'd go as far to call them legendary yet.
I don't know. I'm guessing you're talking about Catfish.
Yeah, so it's Catfish and the Bottlemen, and it's kind of it was a really surprise announcement for me personally. Anyway, a few people had said that like there was whispers behind the scenes about Catfish potentially getting back together. And then they were just announced as the Reading and Leeds headliner, and that was the way that they announced that they have reformed and got back together, because they actually headlined Reading and Leeds in 2021, I believe.
All right.
And that was their breaking up gig. It was the last gig they did.
Oh, shit.
Or second to last. They was like, we're doing this. This is one of the last ones. So then they've disappeared for a few years, and then they're coming back.
They changed their mind. Oh, not getting enough.
I think...
Not enough moolah. Let's come back.
I think with Catfish, it's something...
I feel like it'll be internal issues.
Yeah, it's internal.
With bands like that, it might be tropey for me to say this, but there tends to be a lot of angst between the members for some fucking reason. I don't know if it's egos, I don't know what it is, but I mean, all sorts of bands that are in that indie kind of genre have always had these.
Well, apparently, when they did headline Reading and Leeds last time, it was actually the lead singer. It was under the name Catfish and the Bottommen.
Yeah.
And then it was the lead singer, which is called Van McCann. And then the rest of the band...
No, he's not.
I think he is.
Van McCann.
Or maybe I'm thinking of Maddie McCann. No, he is actually called Van McCann.
Van McCann?
Yeah. So
Sounds like a fucking Chuckle Brothers character.
The rest of the band were hired as like one-off gig musicians and technically weren't part of the band, even though they have been for years and wrote all the songs. What's it called when you just hired, like if you just got a random drummer to fill in?
You're having like a session.
Yeah, the rest of the band were classed as session musicians other than the lead singer, although it was all the original members. So there's something not right there. Maybe now they've worked it out, and that's why they've decided, right, we're all mates again. Let's go to Reading and Leeds and headline properly as a band with no animosity and whatever. But
they're playing full album in full, aren't they? Is that the right thing, or is it just the 10-year anniversary or something? There's something about them.
That's the next headliner.
Right. Oh, right. Okay.
Speaking of egos, Liam Gallagher. No, I mean, Liam's just a good shout, isn't he? Yeah. It's 10th anniversary, no, 20th anniversary show.
Definitely maybe.
For Definitely Maybe, which is a big shout. I every time I've seen Liam, I've enjoyed it, but he's not one that gets me unbelievably hyped. Good pick, solid at Leeds Fest. I'll go see him, but I'm not like, oh my God, Liam Gallagher.
He's one of them artists where it's, if they're there, you're gonna go see them, but you're not overly hyped that they've been announced. But it's more of an addition to already wanting to go. That's like Liam's there as well. I'll go see him as well. So.
And it will be good to see a lot of those Definitely Maybe songs. There's a few of them that I've never seen live, and I imagine for hardcore Oasis fans, because Bonehead's with him as well.
Breaking up a bit there, bro.
Bonehead is
Oasis fans. Oh, they love it.
And that'll mean that it's two original Oasis members performing some of their best work.
Yeah.
So
yeah. I mean, it'll be good. It'll be good either way.
Buzzing for them. And then let's move on to what I think is potentially the worst Reading and Leeds headliner of all time. I said this last year for Imagine Dragons, and I think this guy might top Imagine Dragons in terms of shite.
Oh, I know who you're talking about. I was looking at it and I was like, who the fuck's he talking about? Oh, I know who you're talking about here. Yeah. Go on. Ooh, Joe. Who do you hate? Who do you hate with a passion? Who is it?
Jerry fucking Cinnamon.
Jerry Cinnamon.
Jerry Cinnamon for me. Damn. Like, it's
sick
just...
name.
It's
sick
just...
name.
Well, yeah.
Can't deny that.
He's just shit. Like, he seems like a really nice fella, yeah? He gets the crowd relatively hyped, to be fair. But if he was playing in the fucking local pub, it wouldn't shock me. He's that level of musician to me.
I don't really have much to say. I know a couple of his songs, and they don't offend me as much as they seem to have offended you. I don't get the reasoning behind you against him almost.
I just think he's not a headliner.
I mean, he's not technically. Is he second stage?
No, he's a headline. Yeah, he's headlining the second stage. So they've got him on the same level as Fred again and Catfish.
Isn't Fred again main stage?
I think he's headlining. I think Lana's the headliner that day.
I thought it was the other way around. I think Lana's the...
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, well.
Yeah. Well, either way, Jerry Cinnamon and Lana Del Rey.
He's headlining a stage at Reading and Leeds.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, he should not be. The only place Jerry Cinnamon should be headlining fucking... I can barely even say his name. The only place Jerry...
That's just the worked up you're getting.
No. The only place Jerry Cinnamon should be headlining festivals is in Scotland. And that's because he's Scottish and they fucking love him there. I don't get it.
Okay.
I proper don't get... No, the thing is as well, like, I don't hate his music.
No, you say him.
I seriously dislike it. But I don't...
I was going to say, yeah, that's a fucking rogue one.
I just think... I don't get it. I don't think him as a live act is impressive in any way, shape or form. Other than the fact the crowd will go, here we fucking go.
Do you not think along with Catfish and Liam that it's going to be a pull for that crowd.
Yeah,
Yeah.
but he's crap.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, okay. Let's get past the point
But no,
that he's crap.
and I also because I
makes
thought
sense in the list
it
of the
doesn't.
lineup.
It doesn't make sense for him to be a headliner. It'd make sense if he was just under the headliners. So
I don't think he'd do it if he was just under the headliners.
Well, he
I
needs
think
to
he's
grow
that-
up then. But let me make my point, right?
Yeah. Okay.
So
Okay.
last year, a lot of people said as if Foles are still at the level of being a headliner.
Yeah.
And do you know what? I maybe agreed. Foles are fantastic, but they've not been at the top of the game for many years. On Spotify, Foles have got 3.6 million monthly listeners, right?
Okay.
And then people questioned it. Jerry Cinnamon has 1.4 million monthly listeners. You know how ridiculous that is?
You know how ridiculous that is.
And in my opinion, he should drop down and let the man with 19.2 monthly listeners, who is 19.2 million monthly listeners,
who is 0.2 of a person listening,
who is
somewhere.
also on the lineup, be the headliner instead, and that is Skrillex.
Yeah, I am amazed that Skrillex is even there. But when Fred again was announced,
Both can't even speak.
I know.
Jerry
We're
Cinnamon's
fucking
got us.
stroking out here. Freddie Cinnamon.
I thought you were just actually doing that. Then.
He when he was announced, I you had the feeling that Skrillex is going to be there as well because they seem to be best mates now. They do everything together. They go to all the festivals together. They make songs together. They're having a great old time. And what I've noticed, and mark my words on this because this is going to happen, Skrillex is coming out to do Rumble with Fred again at Reading on Saturday because Skrillex is doing the Friday at Leeds and the Sunday at Reading, and then Fred again is doing the Saturday at Reading and Sunday at Leeds. So it leaves the headline slot on the Saturday for Skrillex to make a random appearance.
Yeah.
And Leeds will never be gifted with that because they hate Leeds.
I would imagine, and this is, maybe this is more of a hope than what I think will actually happen. I am hoping that Fortet is going to get added in the next set of announcements. It'd make sense.
Fortet's such a weird looking guy.
He is.
It's like Frankenstein.
He's legendary,
great,
though.
He's great, though.
He's
no,
fantastic.
don't get me wrong. It's just, it's crazy to see Fred against Skrillex and then Old Man.
But I think he's going to get added in the next batch, and then it wouldn't surprise me if we see, in fact, I'm praying for this, at the Relentless stage or the LS23 stage at Leeds Festival. I'm not sure if Reading has like a version of that. I'm sure they do.
I imagine it'd be similar.
Yeah. But I hope that we see that Fred against Skrillex Fortet set there because I know they did a surprise gig at the Warehouse in Manchester, the Warehouse Project the other week.
Oh, true.
Well, Fortet was playing and it was meant to be someone after him and the person after bailed. So Fred again came and filled in as like a random...
That'd be fucking mad, that. Oh, man.
So, but I think those three are the type of trio who they've been called in to do Coachella. They've done like random gigs before, like in Times Square and across the like loads of different places in England. So I think that they'll probably do a secret set together.
Yeah. I mean,
think they'll want to.
I'd love to see. I mean, of course they'd want to. They'd love doing it. It's very clear that they enjoy making music together. So I think we are going to be treated by at least Fred again and Skrillex together. At least at one of the dates, we will see Skrillex come out with Fred again.
Let's pray. And then there's another couple names on the lineup. I don't really know who Spirit Box are.
Yeah, Spirit Box are decent. You know, when they got shouted out, what size are they currently? Because I always struggle with.
I think they're quite big in the scene they're in because it's quite screamy, isn't it?
Yeah. It's heavy.
Yeah, they've got 2.4 mil, which is a lot really for that genre.
Yeah, they're bigger than fucking Jerry.
So that's a good addition to pull in that type of crowd, and you'll imagine there'll be some more bands along that.
I thought it was a little bit of a rogue shout compared to all the other ones, but they've thrown that in to to tickle the.
Just like they threw in
fancy.
Digger D to
Digger
tickle
D.
the rap. I don't know who that man is.
No, it's grime stuff, innit? I think.
Is he? I thought, is he not American?
He could be.
Anyway, I don't know who Digger D is. I'm sorry to all the.
Was he drill?
Sorry to all the listeners.
We should stop talking now.
Yeah,
and then
the last acts we've not spoke about is Ray, not Lana Del Rey, just Ray.
Lana Del Rey and Ray are on the same day though, just to avoid any confusion. Yeah, Lana Del Rey.
Ray's quite a big act. She's got a bunch of listeners, got a couple of songs that have done well on TikTok, and I'm sure that again, it's targeting the type of people they want to be at the festival to come to the festival.
I don't know who she is.
Really excited for the rest of the lineup because for me, that set of headliners, instantly I'm going.
It's enough to go for.
Yeah. I'm getting a ticket. And then I think there's a few acts that are pretty nailed on to be there outside of the headliners. Fortet, I just mentioned. The Story So Far are doing the rest of the Blink dates with them from the day after Leeds Fest, so I'd love to see them in a tent. I think that's their energy. They'd be fantastic. Who else do I think will be there? I don't know.
I pray they don't put Story So Far on something like second stage like they did with Don Broco, because it just doesn't work.
Well,
it's not the right energy, especially with the fan base that's there.
I get it with Broco because they're British and they actually did arenas prior to Reading and Leeds.
Sell them out either.
No, I know, but I think they'll have wanted to be main stage, whereas I think Story So Far would prefer to tent it.
It would make more sense to be in a tent, because when we saw them at Blink, you could tell it was a great show, like we said before, but you could tell he wasn't comfortable being in front of that many people. And plus, with their core fan base, being in a tent would be fucking insane.
I'm trying to think along the lines of, based on the acts they've already got, I think they'll get another pop punk on the Blink day to really sell that out.
Simple Plan or somebody like that, because they're
someone bigger than that.
They're about. You think Simple Plan are pretty big?
No, maybe someone that's more current. Simple Plan haven't had a song do well in fucking forever.
Yeah. No, I get what you're saying, but
I don't know who. I don't know who that choice would be, but I think they'll get another pop punk act. Yeah. Anyway, should we move on to the next festival?
Yes, let's do it. I'll
let you take the lead on this one because you are the download boy.
Are we going to download, are we?
Yes.
We're going to download town. Well, my poster has decided to hide it.
I'll give a little quick thought on download before you kick off.
Yeah, go on.
And that is, I saw a lot of people saying that the Reading and Leeds booking in comparison to Download was unbelievably good. Like the fact that Download should have spent all the money on Blink instead of Fall Out Boy or Queens of the Stone Age.
I don't think Blink would have fit properly in
Fall Out
Download.
Boy.
No, I know, but this is something.
Anyway.
Yeah. So for Download, we got some. The acts that were announced were kind of expected, but not quite. So for the headliners, Avenged Sevenfold was a given. I think everybody just knew that they were going to make an appearance. They've released the really shitty most recent album, so they're on some kind of comeback,
so you can't wait to
tour.
have to listen to 5 of those songs.
Oh yeah, I know, it's going to be fantastic. I think they'll avoid them. I think because of how poorly they did, they might do 1 or 2 at most and just do the classics. Because if you're headlining a festival, you tend to not play new shit as much. You want to do the classics, and they have such a large discography that it wouldn't make sense for them to play anything but classics.
Right.
But we'll see. Then Queens of the Stone Age, which I'm sure you'll agree is
Queens of the
billing.
They're a fantastic live band. I saw some videos of the new UK tour they did a couple of weeks ago. Looked really good.
Mate who went to that said it was fantastic.
Yeah, they're just amazing live. They're a big enough name, and I think they fit the Download crowd quite well as well.
They do, and it's one of those where when I initially saw it, I thought, are they big enough to headline?
They are.
And I was like, yeah, they probably are, to be fair, in comparison to the other ones. And then Fall Out Boy being the Saturday headliner, presumed Saturday headliner, is the roguest shout ever.
It's wild as well because Fall Out Boy are by far the biggest name on the Download poster. Mm-hmm. And that's not what I expected to see. I expect them to pump all their money into someone else. But from a personal point of view, that Queens of the Stone Age and Fall Out Boy make that the best Download lineup I have seen in years for what music I like.
Yeah.
And to be honest, all I see every year, or at least the last few years when I've been like really into festivals, is Download fans complaining about them just recycling the same lineup and the same acts. So surely you need a bit of something like this.
So this year it's basically split between 2 camps. The Download lineup, you've got people that are saying, why the fuck have you swapped it up so much? I don't like these new bands. And those are the same people that were saying, I hate that you get the same bands every year. So it's clear that, it's difficult for them to actually hit a happy medium. Nobody will ever be, they'll never please everybody. But with Fall Out Boy being a headline act, we saw them at the Hella Mega Tour last year, was it? And it just... They were very lackluster.
It might have just been that day.
It might have just been that day. But I also saw them at Download in 2014.
Oh, so they've done it before?
They didn't headline.
Well, no, but they played the festival before.
Yeah. And again, it was just the weirdest, I don't know. It got the crowd hyped. Everybody was hyped for it. But I feel like their billing at a festival like Download, regardless of size, they would be a second stage headliner.
No, they're definitely not a second stage headliner.
No, I'm saying for Download's crowd. I'd say they're not a headliner.
Yeah, but they wouldn't accept that. So
no, of course not.
It's unlucky. The new album was really good as well. It was more back to the roots.
Yeah, it was all right. Yeah.
I quite liked it.
Yeah,
I quite liked it. And the whole UK tour, I think every single arena date sold out. Leeds Arena was fully sold out.
I love Fall Out Boy.
Yeah,
I love
Fall Out Boy. It's a strange booking for Download.
It's the weirdest booking for Download, I think, in recent history.
But from a personal point of view, I hope that this is a sign of Download changing slightly and not just booking the same only heavy bands in the world that are around.
It depends on how well it sells.
Yeah.
If this sells better than it did last year, they'll carry on down this route and start swapping up the headline acts. If it doesn't sell as well, then they'll just get Slipknot back in or fucking
Download just...
I'm surprised that Maiden aren't here, to be fair.
Yeah, I am.
Because they're always fucking there.
Fucking thank the Lord they're not
Yeah,
there.
I know, right?
Yeah, but this is what I mean. I'm hoping maybe this is a turn for Download becoming a bit more like when we were young.
Yeah, hopefully. I mean, I don't see that happening, but we can go down that route, hopefully. Going on to the smaller acts that were announced, Royal Blood, fantastic billing. You can't fault that.
I'm baffled by you Download people, you know.
Why?
When Royal Blood got announced for Download, I expected to see so much hate for that because
I don't know who you think the people are that are going to fucking Download.
Listen.
You say this all the time.
I
about
really
different acts.
No. I really like. Fuck me. I can't even speak. I really like Royal Blood.
Yeah.
I think they're a fantastic band. Every album has a couple bangers on. No. But they're one of the most hated bands, and they have online anyway. I see a lot of people saying, "Oh, they're like this fake heavy, like they're really just hipster rich boys from Brighton." No. How the fuck are Download fans happy with Royal Blood? They're the people that are hating on them all the time.
No, don't fucking tell me. Like I like Royal Blood. Like I don't have an
mad
issue with
that,
Royal
though.
Blood. I mean, but my music taste is eclectic as fuck. I like fucking anything to anything.
Again, it goes down that more chill line though.
It does. Yeah. And I think Royal Blood. Well, I mean, looking at this lineup, it looks like they're going to be on before Queens of the Stone Age, which makes sense in itself.
go
Either
to
that or they'll headline second stage.
But this is what I mean. If it was Royal Blood and Queens of the Stone Age on the same day, I'd probably go for the
it looks
first
like
ever time.
It might be. So you'd be coming on the Friday with me.
Yeah.
Yeah, get Joe down to Download. We've got The Offspring, amazing billing. They're fantastic wherever they are. Doesn't matter how old they are. Every time I've seen them, they nail it. Like
Offspring
they just sound like studio quality. I think it's because they're one of those bands that when they recorded it, they didn't do any change into the record. They just straight recorded it, and then when they play it live, it sounds exactly the same. Machine Head, I've not seen them about for a little while. I'm not huge into Machine Head, but I do like a few songs, and to see them on there, a lot of people will be happy with them.
I have literally no idea who Machine Head are. I've never even heard of
We'll
them.
move off and we'll move on to Pantera. You know Pantera, right?
Just.
Yeah, okay. Do 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 do. Respect. No. Okay. So this is going to be their first UK appearance in 20 years.
Oh well, that's a good.
So that's a big one. The only problem is they have a very problematic frontman, which has got them into trouble a lot.
Problematic to a major level, or
Pretty major, kind of like white power style problematic. Yeah. For them to come after 20 years, that's big for a lot of people. I'd like to see that if I could go.
yeah. But if it's actually a white power person, surely this shouldn't be doing
it's
that.
not. It's not that he's not actually a white power person. There's just been some drunken him doing shit where you think, hang on a minute.
Oh, so he's like made a joke, or is he actually?
I don't want to go too far into it because I don't know what point is defamation and if I'm actually talking about the right person here. So I'm kind of holding it
We'll
back.
move on.
Yeah. So the next one is Bad Omens. I don't know if you've heard of Bad
I know
Omens.
them.
You know, but yeah, decent. That's a decent billing. Corey Taylor, we knew he was going to be there. He's fucking everywhere. If Slipknot aren't there, Corey Taylor's there. He just loves. Corey Taylor's an Anglophile. You know, he's in love with the United Kingdom.
I didn't even know what you meant when you first said that, but yeah.
Yeah. He loves.
Big ups to Corey Taylor.
Yeah, right.
Bring back Stone Sour.
While She Sleeps.
Yeah, I know them.
Yeah, decent.
This is what I mean. It seems like a lot of the smaller names are quite good, but
Still
it's just
quite big.
Fall Out Boy
Yeah.
that people don't like.
Some 41.
Yeah.
Fucking
Isn't it the
come
last
on.
ever UK festival date as well? Does it not say
Final
that on there?
UK festival? Yeah. So there you go. Got to go there to see him. Billy Talent, fantastic. Seen him a couple of times recently. The Used, it's The Used. You know, it fits with the bill somewhat. Your favorite band, Baby Metal, they're there, so you might be able to see them if you go on the Friday. We'll see if they pop up. Bowling for Soup. Hey. Yes, 10 out of 10.
Didn't you try to get Bowling for Soup on the pod?
Maybe, or I think you did.
I think I might have done actually.
Yeah.
Bowling for Soup, come on.
Yeah, come on, Jarrett. Or maybe Big Chris. Wouldn't mind the guitarist.
Yeah, I love a couple Bowling for Soup tracks.
Yeah.
You're a huge fan.
Big fan, Bowling for Soup. Big fan. I went on one tour. I went to nearly every UK date. Just followed them across.
You went to nearly every UK date. Come on the pod.
Come on the potty, Jarrett. Come on. Then there's that. I can't pronounce the name. The Heilung, it's a new and upcoming band, and they've actually billed quite higher on this than I thought they would.
Fair.
Which is pretty cool. Then Polyphia, which are you might have seen them before. It's Tim Henson's the guitarist. They haven't got a vocalist, and it's that kind of.
All right, I know what you mean, but I don't know if I know them specifically.
Yeah, Thy Art Is Murder. They had a problem with their frontman. A lot of metal bands have problems with their frontmen. I don't know what came of it, but I'm pretty sure it got kicked out of the band. So it would be interesting to see them with their new vocalist. We got Biohazard. I don't really know too much about them. Black Dahlia Murder's cool. Fear Factory's cool.
See, all these names are wild. Biohazard, followed by Fear Factor.
Fear Factory.
Followed
Fear
by,
Factory
what was the other
fire.
one? Fucking Murder Summit.
The Black Dahlia Murder.
It's all mad names.
And then you got all the, Alien Weaponry.
What the fuck's going on? Is that a real name?
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you might have just made that one up.
No, Elvana are there, though.
Elvana, Elvis from Nirvana. I respect them. I respect them.
The rest of them are just small, like Wargasm, smaller ones.
Yeah, the ones you'd expect, the type of you'd expect. Do you know the thing I don't get about this download lineup, right?
Yeah.
And this is how I view it. So clearly they wanted to switch it up a bit, and they've done that with Fall Out Boy. Mm-hmm. Why has Isle of Wight Festival ended up with Green Day, and Download Festival has ended up with Fall Out Boy?
I don't know, it's bizarre, but I've just clocked one name on that lineup that I think you'll be quite happy with. Counterparts. You like Counterparts, right?
Counterparts. I don't know if I know them. I've heard of them.
Yeah, I'm sure it was. There was that one band that you were talking about recently that I was like, I've heard one song and it turned out to be a demo of them. I wasn't sure if that was Counterparts.
No, I don't think I know them, mate.
No, okay, maybe it wasn't you. Maybe it was a different.
But yeah, it's weird to me. Like we'll move on to Isle of Wight anyway in a second.
Yeah.
I just feel like Download's the biggest festival in the more like hardcore rock fan scene. Mm-hmm. Isle of Wight isn't
It's the UK metal festival.
Isle of Wight isn't in that scene at all, not even in the slightest. No. So how have they ended up with a bigger name as their mainstay headliner than Download Festival?
I think Isle of Wight paid big money to get Green Day because this is the only UK show UK festival that Green Day are doing.
But that should be Download. How haven't they splashed the cash for that and gone with Fall Out Boy instead?
I think Avenged Sevenfold are quite an expensive band to book anyway. So I think a lot of the budget goes there. Queens of Stone Age are obviously fucking huge, selling out arena tours. So I think the thing was is if you got somebody like Green Day, you kind of have to back down on the other ones. Somebody that I'm surprised hasn't been announced for Download is The Prodigy.
Well, I don't think they'll be there.
No, I know, but that's such a Download band.
Is it?
Which again is like, why are they not? Yeah, it's that kind of crowd, isn't it?
I'm done with you, Download lot, man. I proper can't judge.
What the fuck? What do you mean now? What the fuck does that mean?
Bro, how? It's just
The Prodigy isn't a Download band.
Not particularly, no.
What the fuck are you on? Of course it is.
Are there?
Yeah. They played so many fucking times. They're
I'm
heavy
baffled.
as shit. It's like fucking...
Prodigy aren't really heavy.
What?
Are they?
Of course they are.
I know enough Prodigy. They're not like heavy though. It's more electronic music than rock.
Yeah,
so
it's kind of like a fusion of.
But we were just saying, Download's the biggest rock festival in the country. But the Prodigy isn't my first thought.
Yeah, I know, but there'd be a massive bill for Download.
Would Skrillex work there?
I think he could. I think Skrillex could play Download.
I think he could.
Yeah. That's actually not a bad shout. Yeah. I don't know what I'm going to do about
Well,
it.
to be fair,
I'm going to get him next year.
We're going in that many directions. I think you may as well get a Matty Healy solo act at Download.
Shut up, man. We got Corey Taylor.
I'd rather see
Don't
Matty
need no
Healy.
fucking
I'd rather
Matty
see
Healy.
I'd rather see Matty Healy's dad do a set of the 1975 songs than see Corey Taylor.
You'd rather see fucking Matty Healy's mum talking on whatever fucking show she's from.
Don't think I'd go that far.
Tories. You as well. I'm watching you. I'm keeping an eye on you.
Let's move on to the biggest Tory festival, and that is the Isle of Wight.
It's the biggest Tory festival.
We'll start on the first day with a band that would apparently do well at Download, and the first headliner is The Prodigy, who amazing live. You went to see him the other week,
Very
didn't you?
recently with Soft Play. Fucking fantastic. They did this homage to Keith. Where there was this giant fucking figurine, I think I showed you it, that stood at the back of the crowd. And then when, I can't remember what song it was, starts playing, lasers shoot out his eyes and it draws Keith's head. And then whilst the song's playing, the lasers start turning into like a stop motion animation of Keith doing his fucking dance to the song. The light show, Really good. Really good.
So the Prodigy are fantastic headliners. And I think that in my head, there's still a bit of a rogue shout for the Isle of Wight festival based off the last few lineups that I've seen. But amazing to be there. Just under them on the first day, you've got the Streets.
Amazing billing.
Again, really fantastic band. Both of these are artists that have managed, or groups that have managed to stay relevant as well.
For 20 plus years, if not more. Prodigy, I think.
But it means that the festival has that young feel, but also the old heads that are still into music really like both of those acts.
Yeah.
So happy with that. The next headliner on the Saturday is the Pet Shop Boys, who, to be honest, I don't really know.
I don't know too much by them, but I know that they're fucking huge with old school crowds.
Yeah.
So
that brings in the oldies. You've got Keane under them. Again, I think that's a similar booking to bring in the oldies. I actually do quite like a couple of Keane songs. Kind of reminds me of childhood.
Yeah.
And then the last headliner on the Sunday, closing out the festival, you've got Green Day, which, to be honest, the last few Isle of Wight lineups I've seen, I thought that they'd kind of just gone on a back burner and thought, all right, we're not one of those big festivals anymore. Because I remember when I was a kid, they had like Jay-Z and stuff headline the Isle of Wight festival. It was massive.
Yeah.
And then it seems to have disappeared a bit.
Very recently, they had Muse headline. I don't know if it was last year. I think last year might have been Muse headlining, which is why when Green Day were billed as a headliner for this year, I kind of thought, you know what? That makes sense. If you've had Muse headlining, you can definitely have Green Day headlining.
Yeah.
So-
And Green Day are big enough to sell out practically the whole thing by themselves, really.
Yeah, yeah.
After the UK tour they did recently at the Hella Mega, sold out
And
every stadium.
They've got a UK tour next year, which I think is already sold out, which I got tickets for. Come on.
Did you?
Yeah, big up the boys.
Shit, I don't. But yeah, last year the headliners...
I'm sure you'll end up getting some
probably will.
somehow.
Last year the headliners at Isle of Wight were Pulp, George Ezra, the Chemical Brothers and Robbie Williams. So I suppose it's quite big...
Ah, Big Robbie, come on.
It's quite big names, but that's very old person oriented.
So was it the year before that it was Muse? Not that it matters, yeah.
So on the Sunday you've got Green Day, and then just under them you've got two fantastic bands in my opinion.
It was 2022.
Was it? You've got Nothing But Thieves, who again amazing live. They're I don't think you can class them as up and coming anymore, but they're quite a big name in the indie rock kind of alty scene.
I went to see him at Resorts World in Birmingham recently, supported by Kid Capici, and it was fucking amazing.
Unbelievable.
Yeah. And they're also supporting Green Day on their tour next year, so it makes sense that they're playing the festival with them.
Exactly that. And then under them, an old school favourite for me, one of the boy bands that I think have got a fair few bangers, and that is McFly.
Are you looking at the full lineup on that? Because there's more names that have been announced.
For Isle of Wight?
Read out, yeah.
Yeah, I just missed off the ones that I don't know.
Oh, true. Okay.
I thought it's not...
Well, I mean, like The Darkness.
Yeah, I actually invited them on the pod
Don't
today.
you think it's... I already did it. I've already sent them one, bro. Check what we've already sent.
Darkness.
Anyway,
You've got Joe and Tim inviting you.
Yeah, like both of us have tried this. I was surprised at how low down they were. I genuinely was.
Well,
and I know they're not big anymore, but they're one of those bands that feels like they've just kept their size. You know, that can just play a festival and go second to headline or headline second stage or something.
Yeah, but I suppose like they do academy tours in the UK, so...
But fourth down, it's just...
No, I think that's probably about right.
Yeah, fair. Okay, maybe I'm just...
They were big, but they're not that big anymore. Although Justin Hawkins has definitely kept his fame because he does a lot of the YouTube stuff.
That's it, yeah. Because I remember I stumbled on his YouTube channel, started watching it.
He's really entertaining.
But then somebody sent a video of his and said, I didn't know Thingy from Darkness had a channel. And I went, is that who it is? I was like, I wonder why it was so good. Scouting for Girls are there, though.
Yeah, Scouting for Girls have a couple bangers.
And Joe Wiley's 90s anthem, the VIP pass that we passed up, if you remember that one time.
Wiley?
Joe Wiley. Yeah.
The one that dissed Stormzy? Sorry, I'm just...
Yeah, Joe Wiley diss Stormzy. Yeah, that'd be ace.
I don't really know who that is. I know we passed up on tickets once after being at the pub all day, but...
There's nobody else on here that's any decent.
But a really cool lineup for Isle of Wight. Yeah. One that actually would tempt me because I like to do a big festival in the summer and a smaller one. I've done Why Not? I've done Tramlines. I've done Truck Festival. Maybe next year it'll be Isle of Wight. I wish I knew someone that lived on the Isle of Wight so they could get me free tickets. You get free tickets if you live there.
I know somebody that lives there.
Ask them if they're using the tickets.
Yeah, I will do.
My guy. But yeah, they're the festival lineups that have come out so far. I think we'll probably do this again in a couple of weeks when you've got like Boardmasters and what else is there in the UK? Well, Boardmasters, Glastonbury.
Glaston's the big one.
Why not? Truck Festival. All the indie festivals will get announced.
Yeah. Oh, speaking of festivals, though, just whilst we're on that side, When We Were Young have announced next year they're doing albums in full. Every band on the lineup is doing an album in full, and arguably their best received album. What the fuck? When are we gonna get any of this shit? It drives me fucking nuts, man. It pisses me off to no
There was
end.
some real fucking passion in that, and that's how you know. When We Were Young are absolutely smashing it.
They are.
Their ideas every year are killing it, not only with bookings, but this is such a fresh idea and something we've not seen before in the festival.
To get bands to agree to it, to play an entire top to bottom of an album. Arguably, they probably all wanted to do it anyway because it would probably be their favourite album if it was the best received. But to organise that and to orchestrate it and to get the bands to confirm which albums they're going to play, and it seems like a lot.
And to keep it all under wraps, none of the smaller bands leaking what they're doing.
Yeah, nobody had any idea this was coming up, and then they announced it, and it was like a CD case as the lineup poster, and it just had. And when I first saw it, I thought, why have they done it so small? And then when I zoomed in and started reading what it actually said, I was like, fucking whole fucking albums, man.
I'd quite like to go to When We Were
MCR
Young.
are doing Black Parade. Like,
That's mad.
what the fuck is... When are we going to get anything that is even close? We don't even get it with them playing any song they want to. We don't even get that. Never mind a fucking whole-ass album of their best fucking greatest...
Right, take a deep breath.
When We Were Young needs to come here.
It won't.
It needs to tour the world. It needs to be like a Slam Dunk, how they've got one in Italy and one in fucking Spain and all this
It's weird, though, because I was thinking this the other day, yeah? How many more headliners do they have left? Like, they've done Blink, Green Day, Paramore, and after this year, My Chemical Romance. Who the fuck else is there in that scene they can go to?
Fucking, does it matter? You know what I mean?
No, but I'm saying,
They'll
surely
just
next year they'll just recycle from, like, get Paramore again. Because who else is a big enough pop punk band to headline other than those?
Yeah.
They've
I know
had
what you
Fall
mean.
Out Boy. Who else can they get?
Yeah, off the top of my
So
head,
now
I'm
what?
pulling a blank. Yeah. I mean, the bands that they've got on there that you'd think might do it, like A Day to Remember and stuff like that, that are huge, they're already there. They're
that's
not
what I mean.
headlining.
I mean,
who the
top
fuck?
level, they've done them all.
Yeah. I'm sure there'll be others we're not thinking of.
Who?
I don't know. I'm just
In terms
sure
of pop punk?
Yeah.
I don't think there is, mate. Let me Google biggest pop punk bands, and we would know them.
Yeah, we would. Yeah, I mean, we fucking should.
Right, so the ones that come up, Blink done it, Green Day done it,
Yeah.
Fall Out Boy done it,
Yeah.
All Time Low are there, not as headliners, Sum 41 are there, not as headliners, Paramore done it, Offspring done it, not as headliners, and then it's just Good
Just
Charlotte,
little
Jimmy Eat World.
shit, yeah.
So they've done all the headliners now.
Well, maybe they won't do another one after this. They'll come up with a new fucking...
Yeah,
they'll
like
come up with a gimmick
like
or
the idea
something.
for this year. But if I were them, would have had My Chemical Romance headline without doing this idea, and then done this idea next time with one of the old headline. Like got Paramore to do one of their big. What's their big album called? Misery Business album.
Yeah.
Do that in full, and then it switches it up. But now that could have been next year's idea when they've exhausted all the headliners.
Why aren't you booking these acts then, bro?
Should be me.
Fucking hit them up.
Let's
Sort
do
out the UK version.
UK version.
That's what we're going to do. We're going to get When We Were Young UK, powered by Man Overboard podcast.
We need to do a UK version, but just with all the big UK bands. We'll get Oasis back together. They'll listen to us. We'll get them sat round this table. We'll be like, "Come on, Liam. Come on, Noel. You're fucking headlining our festival."
Stone Roses will fucking somehow get Ian to...
Don't know if I'd want him
agree to
anymore.
come out.
He'd probably bring
somehow.
his fucking nunchucks or something.
Do you see his like most recent fucking performances? It's just fucking. It was
funny.
terrible. Bro's gone off the fucking rails.
It was
Just
that
after the
bad, it was
money.
funny though,
It
wasn't
was. It was like they pushed an old man out onto the stage and go on, sing your songs.
Karaoke time.
Oh, here we go.
Go on, Grandad. We'll build a pool with this. It's like that fucking Captain Tom, whatever he's called's family. You see, they have to knock the spa
Yeah.
resort down.
Yeah, of course they fucking do. You kidding me?
Nah, you should have at least let him keep it at this point. He walked around garden 1,000 times for nothing. His family didn't even get a pool.
Walked around a garden and they built a spa.
But he did it for nothing now.
Don't you think that's
The
fucking
money's
nuts?
gone and the spa's gone. Who has won in this
And
situation?
he's gone. So we're really fucked now.
Rest in peace to a legend.
Oh, he was. Yeah,
He was.
a
Nah,
legend.
he was a Donny.
He was. His
Yeah.
family, not so much, but him, great.
To be fair, though, I wonder if it was actually his idea or if his family were like, "Get out there now. We need
That's what I'm saying, man.
we need a 6-person jacuzzi,
You're
not a
not
4-person
coming
granddad."
Back in here until we fucking kitted out this whole room.
Yeah, no, but that is peak. It is peak. Rest in peace to Spa Room as well.
R.I.P. A spa room.
It's gone. It's gone. No happy endings for them, literally.
Whoa. Moving on. Where the fuck have you been, Joe? Where have you been?
I know.
These past couple of weeks.
The podcast frequency has died in recent months.
Just a little.
I'll say we're back again. Hopefully we actually do one next week. I'm sure we will.
What the fuck are you looking at me like that for? Fuck off you. Where were you?
I was in America, people. So I was over in New York, San Francisco, and Los Angeles, which is a shithole, but I'll get onto that. Let's go into the first thing I wanted to talk about in New York, and that is seeing the best band of all time, the 1975, twice at Madison Square Garden. 2 nights in a row, a legendary gig. I watched the 1975 Madison Square Garden set on Amazon Prime multiple times. Really loved it. And then when I saw they were doing it again, I was like, I got to go. I simply got to be there.
I remember you messaging me and saying, yo, so I think what it was is you had the actual one that you'd bought in advance was the day after, and then the day before was the first gig, and you saw tickets online, and you were like, fuck it.
So they were doing 2 nights at MSG, and I had tickets for night 2, and then on the day of night 1, I looked on Ticketmaster because previously Ticketmaster were doing that fucking just adding 200 quid for the ticket for no reason.
For the sake of it.
So on the day, I looked and they were just cost price. So I thought, all right, I'll go. I'll pay normal money for it. And was seated on the first night. Really cool experience. Fantastic gig. The set was really cool. Vibes in Madison Square Garden were fantastic.
Compared to a UK crowd, because you've seen 1975 in many countries now, but for it to be their own gig, how would it compare to seeing them in Manchester?
Well, I think seeing them in Manchester's elite, but I barely remember it, so I can't.
See them in London. That's probably a better comparison. Somewhere like arena.
Yeah, no, but I'd say the UK crowd is slightly better, but I think that's maybe also because I feel a little bit more comfortable being a bit more like out there myself. The America crowd was very good though, actually, for the 1975.
I hear a lot of times that American crowds are pretty dead.
Yeah, but it's not mosh pit or all.
No, I suppose it's not. And I think another thing that kind of, I don't know how big 1975 are 1974. It's the band before them are in America.
Well, so
apparently fucking huge.
Sold out 2 nights at MSG, baby. So pretty big.
Yeah.
But it was really good. There. The worst thing about seeing the 1975
was that they came on the stage
at Madison Square Garden went for a couple of beers before night 1. Before night 1, went to the bar in Madison Square Garden, and I said to the bartender, the barman, I was like,
the
bartender.
Why did you say it like that? The bartender.
I don't know. I said to the bartender at Madison Square Garden, what's the cheapest beer you do? Because beer in America is a little bit more pricey than the UK. So I just thought, I'll say what's the cheapest. As long as it's not like piss water, I'll get it.
Pisswasser.
So he said Stella, which is close to piss water, but Stella Artois the cheapest beer. I thought, all right, I'll go for that. I'll get 2 pints, bro. He rings up the 2 pints of Stella Artois, and it comes to $44 for 2 pints of Stella.
So that's $22 for 1 pint of Stella.
So
is what you're telling
effectively,
me.
in Madison Square Garden, it cost me £19 per pint of Stella.
That's fucking extortionate.
At fucking Morrison's down the road, I can get 20 cans of Stella for like 12 quid.
Yeah,
Pint
that's
cans.
Fucking insane. That's insane prices.
But I enjoyed that Stella.
Did you just have 1 pint there then?
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say that's one of those where sometimes when you're in arena, it's like 11 quid. You're like, all right, go on then.
It was bad that though. I was genuinely shocked. But fantastic gig both nights. And then on the second night, I went from seated to standing, although I didn't actually sit in the seated at any point. Went from seated to standing. And Matty Healy said something which caught a lot of traction online. So he said at one point, he was talking about how the 1975's newest album, which was really well received, really well reviewed, there was a couple tracks that did absolute numbers, obviously got number ones everywhere, didn't get nominated for a Grammy. And he was saying how practically he thinks that's a disgrace. And it really is when you look at some of the other artists that got nominated. Like even Queens of the Stone Age. I love Queens of the Stone Age, but the new album is the worst of the last 3.
It's not cracking.
So why did they get nominated and a band that's bigger and had the best album of the last 3 not? Doesn't really make sense. But Matty Healy was saying something along those lines, and he said that Kanye West is his idol.
That's it. That's a bold claim.
Minus the anti-Semitism.
I don't think that's true. I think it's including it from
No. So yeah, he said Kanye West is his idol minus the anti-Semitism.
Yeah.
He said because he loves the self-belief he has in himself, and how Kanye has always said when he has an album that he thinks is amazing, he should win the awards because it is the best. And he thinks that for the 1975 album. And then obviously on social media afterwards, they just clipped out the part where he said minus the anti-Semitism, and everyone was saying, oh, it's the 2 worst people in the world, nightmare blunt rotation. Everything
That's
you could
great.
imagine.
That's great.
You know, anyone in the comments that's saying Matty Healy and Kanye West is a nightmare blunt rotation would definitely be in on that blunt rotation.
Oh.
Who'd say no to that?
Yeah, I mean, even I wouldn't say no to that, to be fair.
Yeah, it'd be pretty goated. But yeah, incredible.
It does sound like it was a good time. It does sound like it was a good time. And I think being able to experience your favourite band that you've experienced countless times in the UK, and I mean in Europe as well, but I feel like that's kind of on the side of the UK. It must have been a bit of a crazy experience.
Oh, it was mad. I nearly shed a tear for real.
I mean, rightfully so.
Like because Madison Square Garden's such an iconic venue as well, and New York's such a cool city overall. To see, as you said, your favourite band there, it's like a once in a lifetime moment. I'm never gonna probably see the 1975 Madison Square Garden again, unless there's a very particular set of circumstances. Matty Healy, invite me, pay for it.
And you went and saw Bill Burr at Madison?
Yeah,
as well?
I saw Bill Burr at Madison Square Garden as well.
What was it like in comparison to a musical gig? Because I mean, Madison Square Gardens I've always wanted to go to for anything.
Yeah.
So what was it like comparing musical gig to a stand-up set?
It was actually quite cool in the sense of you could check the arena out a bit more. Lights were on for a little while.
Cool. Yeah.
It was just really good. I've seen Ricky Gervais before, but obviously that's my first time seeing a comedian in America, an American comedian, legendary. It was that good when we left. Our faces hurt from laughing. Like our faces ached from smiling.
That's when you know it's a good.
So Bill Burr is unbelievable, and yeah, just had a class time. And then we also went to see a pop punk gig in America. I felt like it was very necessary.
I forgot about that.
I'm a big pop punk fan. So we travelled to Queens in New York. Bearing in mind we were staying near not Central Park. We were staying near, what's the fucking lighted area called? I can't even remember. I was there like 2 weeks ago.
Manhattan.
Just Times Square.
Times Square.
So we were staying near
lighted.
Yeah, I said Central Park, and I was like, it's definitely not that. Anyway, we were staying near Times Square, and we had to travel out to Queens, which was like an hour and a half journey, to go see the Menzingers and Microwave with a support act. So 2 pretty good, but not massive pop punk bands, mate. It was a scary experience walking through certain parts of Queens because we had to get an underground, and then we jumped on this bus. And we were walking through this, like, there was no lights on in any of the buildings. There was, like, abandoned warehouses and stuff. We were in New York in an area.
And you know it's New York.
And we know, we literally had no idea where we were. And then I put a picture up. We got to the venue, and it literally just looked like an old abandoned warehouse.
I remember you sending me the picture of it, and it genuinely looked like one of those liminal places. You know, it's just a picture that's made to look spooky as shit.
It looked like somewhat off of fucking Hostel, the horror film.
Yeah.
But anyway, we went in, and it was really cool. Like, it was a proper sick venue. Great lighting, good sound, pretty decently priced beers. Like, it was just cool, and it was fantastic to see a pop punk band in America.
Yeah, I bet, because isn't that where they're from as well?
Nearby, I think.
It was Menzingers are from in New York,
somewhere around that area, I think.
Yeah.
But it's such a big place.
What was it like going to Queens and knowing that you were going to Queens after hearing Queens in every Spider-Man reference ever?
It's cool.
I
want to say now,
it is cool.
I don't think he'll ever get to this point in the pod, but my friend Ellis that I went with, I'm not kidding. He referenced Spider-Man in New York at least 10 times.
Yeah, I bet. You just can't help yourself. You can't help yourself. I would have been in fucking Times Square being like, and that's where he fought Electro when he was Andrew Garfield and over here.
Yeah, I remember we were in Central Park and we were sat looking at a bridge, and he was like, oh, that's where he met his missus or something.
Mary Jane.
On this bridge over some water. Then I was like, oh.
Oh, I thought you'd be hyped for that.
And I like Spider-Man, but I don't really remember the films back in the day.
The Tobey Maguire ones.
Bro, I've not seen them since I was a kid, literally.
Yeah, they came out when you were fucking born.
I was like 6.
Younger than that.
Yeah. So it's been a long time. I don't remember that. He's rewatched them 7,000 times. So
Rightfully so.
Yeah. But then from New York, went to San Francisco, which was amazing. Went to Alcatraz, really cool experience. I'd recommend that if anyone's going to San Fran. And then
just to visit, not to be actually in there. Is it still active?
No, it's not active.
True.
No.
It's on an island, isn't it?
Yeah. You had
take
to get a
a
boat
different
out.
boat.
It was
Oh, was that
really...
spooky?
Oh, bro, it was chucking it down
Wait,
as well.
nighttime?
Nighttime.
Oh, nah.
Pelting it down on
COD
the way out.
Zombies.
Yeah.
You're going around going, I fucking train him here. And that's where the packer punch is, up there.
I did actually do that.
Yeah.
I had a video on my story and put like Black Ops 2 reimagined or something.
Yeah.
But we went out to Alcatraz. It was pinging it down with rain. Dark of the night on this little island. You can see the city of San Francisco in the distance. Really cool place. And actually the tour was quite cool. You just got these like this little thing you plugged into some headphones, but it gave you a lot of background on it. Told you to go into this room and this is where so-and-so was held and this mass murderer and this person did this, and in this cell was where people that tried to escape and we never found their bodies or found them alive, so we don't know if they made it or not, type thing.
Yeah, because there was a couple of people that did a proper great escape from there.
Yeah, but they don't know if they actually made it to land because it's fucking far. You wouldn't be able to swim that far, really, unless you were very
determined.
Well, no, unless you were very fit. But how much cardio can you do in a prison?
I mean, you've got all day.
Yeah, but cardio.
You just jump on the spot, wouldn't you? Just do a bit of
Anyway,
either way.
I wanted to move on to LA because we went to LA
last.
Only for a couple of days, luckily, and I think. Personally,
that sets the story off,
yeah,
doesn't it?
I think personally, LA is the worst city I've ever been to in my life.
Ooh, god damn, that's big. You've been to a lot of cities.
I've been to a fair few places, and
I've been to Stoke.
That's good. That'd make a good clip. No, I've not been to Stoke, but LA, I think what sets the scene off right, on the first night, got to the hotel after, it was only like an hour flight, so I thought we'll whack the bags in, we'll have a walk down the Hollywood Walk of Fame, and we'll find a bar and watch the American football. So we set off down the Walk of Fame, we're thinking, you can barely even read the names on the stars because it's that dirty.
Yeah.
Fucking not nice at all. Like you look at, I don't know who that is, I can barely read that one. It's just not really a thing. It's this thing that's bigged up. It's dead. Rubbish. So then we're walking to just walk down and find a bar. And on the walk, someone has their arm wrapped up in a yoga mat and they're pointing it at us. Bearing in mind there's fucking guns in America. They point their hidden hand in a yoga mat at us and go, do you want to see a dead body?
Yo! Now, what kind of person was this?
It was.
Did they look tapped? You could tell.
Bro, they looked bad. So that instantly, just made me feel uneasy. Of course it did.
So we went with the guy.
Yeah, so I went, go on then. Anyway, we went to the bar,
Skedaddled.
had a couple drinks. And then later in the night, we went just to go to the shop, wanted some snacks or whatever. And this must have been at about 9 at night. The only people, and we were in a good area of LA, the only people around was zombified drug addicts.
Nah.
You know where they're awake, but they're asleep. They stood up just like...
Yeah, kind of twitching a little bit.
That was the only people around.
Fuck, it's an issue over there though, isn't it?
No,
it's an
it was
epidemic.
bad though.
Yeah.
I felt really bad for the people. Villages of tents on the sides of the roads.
Homelessness
in
is
the
out
rich
of
areas.
control. Yeah.
Everyone just monged. It was baffling.
And they just ignore it. The city just ignores it.
So that was the first day. I thought that was bad enough, right? Some pretty bad experiences. Start the second day on a fresh. We're like, right, we're going to go down to Venice Beach. Check out the GTA areas.
Did you go to the muscle gym?
We did.
Come on. Come on.
So we had to do all that stuff. But jump on one bus.
Muscle Beach.
Had to get two buses. Jump on the first one, cool. Jump on the second one. About 2 seats behind us, there's this crackhead geezer, yeah, and he's just shouting, just spouting off. And when we get on, he was already doing it. Yeah. So we sat there, and then after about 2 minutes, it turns out he was shouting at someone at the front of the bus who was starting on the bus driver. So this person stood up and started on the female bus driver, both male, the geezer that stood up and the geezer behind us, both men. So the geezer behind us, we clocked, he's been shouting at him the whole time. And then when the bus stopped, he got up from behind us and went and started on this geezer for trying to fight the female bus driver and kicked him off. So we were like, oh, what a guy, fair enough. He stopped someone from trying to fight a female bus driver and booted him off the bus. And then when he walks back past us on the bus, for some reason, he goes, and fuck all of your English bitches as well. We'd not said a word. We didn't look at him. We didn't smile. So then he was sat behind us, bro.
Oh, no.
And we could just hear, fuck your English bitch boys. I'll fucking blow your brains out. You don't know what it's like out here. I'll fucking shoot you. And
God.
we were sat there just like...
Please don't kill us. Please don't kill us. Please
bro,
don't kill us.
there's someone sat behind us in America.
Yeah, where guns are
threatening to blow our brains out. Yeah. And this is the second time in 24 hours that someone's talked about shooting us effectively.
That's fucking...
And like maybe that's normal for LA people. Maybe there's just crackheads there all the time that are talking about shooting you. But for an English person, that is not what happens. And it's not a realistic threat. If someone said to me on a bus in Leeds, I'll shoot you, I'd laugh.
You go, fuck
You'd
off.
be like, get fucked.
Yeah, go
no,
on
you
then.
won't.
Yeah.
Where are you going to get a gun from? Yeah. But the one thing that topped it all off, after literally sitting and just spouting for another 10, 15 minutes, this guy said one thing that he thought would really get to us and probably... Because he clearly wanted some kind of response.
I've got in my head what I think it might be.
So he went, and fuck the Beatles.
It wasn't
He
that.
threatened to blow our brains out. He'd called us bitch boys like 10 times. Fuck your English boys. And then he just randomly, like in the whole spout, and he just goes, and fuck the Beatles as well. And we were like...
Bro, you've got some deep-seated issues here. I don't know if Paul McCartney fucked your wife or something, but I don't think you've got a problem with the English.
But that was a particularly unique one.
I thought you were going to go in on the Queen.
Oh,
I thought that would have been good. That would have been good.
Yeah.
It would have been like one where you'd gone, no, honestly, you know,
I'd be like, fair enough, to be honest.
do what you want. Yeah.
But
That's funny. That's funny. How did he know you're British? You must just look it.
I think we must have said something.
Also, I think...
And I was wearing a Leeds shirt, but no one would fucking know that it was a Leeds. No one in LA would know what a Leeds shirt looks like.
I
But
think
it's a
they'd know what
football
a football shirt
Yeah,
is.
and we would have spoke at some point when we got on the bus or something.
And it's
we're very
easy.
clearly.
Yeah. Did you get much of that when you were in America? Did you get many people going, where are you from?
Do you know?
That was a terrible impression of an
Where are
American.
you from?
Where are you from,
No,
buddy?
do you know the main one we got actually?
Buddy old pal?
For some reason, whenever we spoke to people, they went, "Oh, you two from Ireland?"
Do you look a bit like Jedward, you?
Fuck.
At the moment, anyway.
Yeah, well. But I think it was more so the fact that we're not from down south.
Yeah.
So most people will just hear like an English-ish accent, not southern, and think, "Oh, they must be from Ireland."
Do you know how you can become like essentially as if you're speaking another language? Go full Yorkshire when you're in America. They'll have no fucking idea what
Not
you're
the
even trying.
slightest.
They won't even have. They think you were speaking a foreign language genuinely.
Yeah.
It's like a secret weapon. That.
I probably could. And then there was one man in a bar when I was just sat having a pint and he ordered some mad sounding vodka. I was like, "What the fuck is that?" And he was like, "Are you Russian?" Because he must have thought I was Russian when I spoke. I was like,
Do I sound Russian, bro?
he was like, "No, man, I'm English." And he was like, "You're English? You sound Russian?" And I was like,
What Russians have you heard?
think
You know
they-
what he's been doing? He's been watching the TV and he's been watching the Russian news that's being spoke over by an English
BBC.
person. And he's
That's what I
gone,
mean.
"Oh."
Most Americans only hear the British accent when it's the BBC speaking, and obviously that doesn't sound out like Yorkshire people
Oh,
speaking,
no,
so they
no.
wouldn't assume.
Yeah.
But not everyone was actually really nice. I think other than LA, I think Americans get a bit of a rap for being a bit rude and stuff.
I don't think it's a rapper being rude. I think it's a rapper being too forward. That's their problem.
Oh, everyone there was really talkative,
Like,
really
it's
friendly.
They are. I mean, don't get me wrong. When I went to Florida, they are very friendly. But one thing that I noticed, I never get asked about my piercings in the UK. Maybe once or twice. Every now and again, somebody will be like, "Oh, did that one hurt? Did this hurt? That and the other." In America, couldn't go in any fucking shop. "Excuse me, buddy, did that hurt when you got that piercing?" All the fucking time. And it's the same with people with like coloured hair. They'll go, "I love your hair," and it's like nice, but
That's not offensive.
it's no. It's just very different, and I could understand why some people would be like, "That's weird. Don't talk to me."
yeah.
But I like the place. Don't get me
Nah,
wrong.
I rated it.
Florida is.
Florida's a bit weird in itself.
Yeah, I went to
But-
Orlando and it was but
It's good.
Had a good time. Good time.
Yeah, America was great. Just all my homies hate LA.
Yeah, rightfully so. Yeah,
Fuck
I
LA.
mean, all my homies hate LA as well. So
I just don't get it. And then even in some of the like fancier restaurants and stuff we went in, there was just pretentious dickheads there.
Mm-hmm.
Like not to be. Like, obviously, I'm fucking middle class and that, I'm not exactly. I've not struggled in life. I'm not going to pretend like I have. But there was people there who you just thought, fucking hell.
Mm-hmm.
And you overhear a conversation and they're like, oh well. That was British. That wasn't even American. But they're on about how
very
like,
posh.
I overheard a conversation at one point and they were on about how like, oh well, I'm being dragged away to Florence this Christmas by the family and I really can't be arsed going. And I'm thinking,
Oh, dragged away. Oh,
your family's taking you to
boo-hoo.
Florence
Yeah,
for
how
Christmas.
dare they?
But
Fuck's sake.
you get that everywhere, I suppose, if you're in a
Yeah.
fancy joint. So yeah, America, USA.
You know what's next, don't you?
What?
Your favourite.
US, yeah.
US. Whoa! Transitions. Whoa!
Now, but the homie Kanye West is back.
US dollar
I thought you were going to say.
sign.
I thought you were going to say you is gay then, and you were about to be cancelled.
You is no, come on.
Kanye West has returned with his T.Y. Dolla Sign.
Kanye West has returned. Like
It's like
it was
Jesus.
like the end of like a Marvel. Ant-Man
Do you know
will
what?
be
It's
back.
really sad now because I feel like I can't back Kanye because I love him as an artist, but I just can't back his actions. And even this new song, that one line, everyone will know the awful line. There's just no need for it.
Is there not?
Not really, no. Like it's kind of.
Do you not think it's Kanye being Kanye?
It's Kanye being Kanye, but
are you surprised that he used that line?
given the things he's actually said, I think just shut up, man. Just make some music.
But are you surprised that he
No.
said that line? No. Okay, good.
I get it, but to be honest, well, you said it earlier. I don't really have high hopes for this album.
No. I mean, in comparison, Ty Dolla Sign. I don't really enjoy that guy's music as it is anyway. And I mean, the one thing I do like is the name of the collaboration, the little line, the little dot. It does look fire. So I'll give him that. I think that might be one of the only reasons Kanye agreed to it because he's like, yeah, that looks sick. Yeah. And then he can make his name into one letter now instead of Ye. It's now Y with some fucking lines through it.
But yeah, I think Kids See Ghosts will forever remain the GOAT.
Kids See Ghosts is goated. Like kids see goats. They do. Ghosts and Goats because it's goated because it's a good album. And I don't think this will match. I don't think this could match that because Kid Cudi is involved in the creative process of Kids See Ghosts,
and he is the Don as well.
And who the fuck is Ty Dolla Sign? I know who he is, honestly.
Yeah, Ty Dolla Sign's a big name. I'm just not a huge fan.
No, it's very American.
The only thing I can hope for this album is because there was a lot of tracks, a lot of the better songs from Donda had features. There was the Life of the Party with Andre 3000. There's a few more. There's the one with
Jay-Z.
Yeah, there was the one with Jay-Z, and then there was the one with fucking yeah. No, but what's the one?
Yeah.
The one with Baby Keem, that was a belter.
Yeah.
So a lot of the good songs
yeah.
had features. So I'm hoping on this album, there's going to be, obviously there's them two, but there might be another good feature or two. And the beat and the overall vibe of the song can still be yayified. Yeah. But I just don't want too much Ty.
No. And the new song that they released, which is called something.
Vultures, that's
the one. With Ty coming in first, I was like, oh, I don't like this already. Like, the beat's hard. The beat's fucking ace. I really like the beat, and you can tell Ye's involved in it because it screams Ye. But when he came in, first off, I was like, well, I don't like how he sounds. And then I don't like his flow. And I don't like his bars either, to be honest with you. So he's not got any of the three that a rapper needs. And then when Ye came in, he's got questionable bars, but it's still Ye. The only thing that I noticed about Ye on Vultures is his voice sounds different. I don't know if it's just because he's aged or if he's trying something different, but it sounds calmer. He sounds less aggravated. I don't know if it's just for this track.
No, I agree, actually.
But it does sound different, and I don't know if he's going to go down that route for this album only, or if he's thinking about venturing into more of a spoken word style.
I guess we'll have to wait and see what the album's saying. Yeah. I'm not going to judge it too much off one song.
No. But especially with it being the only Ye work that we've had in a little while now. Yeah. I mean, Donda 2, which people say doesn't exist, but it does.
I've got it upstairs on my fucking stem player.
Bro's going to fucking sell it $2,000.
I actually should. I wonder if I could get a lot for it.
I reckon in 10 years you could. People go mad for unreleased Kanye stuff, don't they?
Yeah, true, but it's not really unreleased. You could just screen record it on your laptop if you really wanted to.
I thought you took it off everything, though. I thought it was only stem players you could get it on now.
Yeah, but you can, if you plug your stem player into your laptop, you can put it on your laptop. So
I see what you mean. Yeah.
That was a big rip-off as well, them stem players. Mad idea. They're actually pretty cool.
It was sick. I liked it. I liked the idea.
Way more expensive than it should have been.
Yeah, I think for people that would use it as an instrument, it would be good. People who'd actually use it for their own tracks.
Well, we're at the end of the episode. Jesus, do we know what we're doing for the next episode yet? Maybe Christmas?
Probably not the next one.
Why?
Because it's fucking November still, bro.
It's going to be December in like 2 days.
Yeah.
So if we're going to do the Christmas special, we need to do it and get it out. So that'd be, if we did it next week, it'd be out on like the 10th of December.
Maybe we'll do a Christmas
Because what we're going to do, release it after Christmas. Do you think of that one?
I just figured we'd do 2 or 3 before Christmas.
Yeah, we probably will.
At some point, basically, Joe's saying we're going to do.
I don't even know what a Christmas special is going to be.
I hope we don't say this now and don't do one.
No, like Halloween.
Oh yeah, well we never said.
Anyway, we'll see you soon for a Christmas special. We hope you enjoyed,
and other ones too, other episodes.
Might not be a Christmas special.
Might not be. Who knows?
It might be us talking about our favourite lightsaber noises. But if it's not that, goodbye.
So long.